How we doing tonight? I am Mike. I am your ghost host for tonight and always. Just want to let you know that we will be having a couple of interviews here coming up from the Paranormal Chicago Convention in Countryside. We will be joined by Mikey Suzeki and Ryan. Ryan is what I consider the second in command at C.P.I. He pretty much does all the interviewing and setting up of getting us to go to places and pretty much everything. The boss man is usually busy doing other things like, running through all types of evidence that we have and that's collected. He pretty much does that all by himself, outside of what I do, because I bring my own equipment, so I have to go through all my stuff, but I send it on to Dave. He approves it or disapproves it, throws it out. But without further ado, we are going to join Mikey for the first interview, and right after that, we will be doing the interview with Ryan. So stay tuned, enjoy, and like, share, smash that buttons all over the place. Whatever you got to do it for me. I appreciate it. And we'll talk to you soon. All right. Peace out. All right. How we all doing tonight? Well, this afternoon, actually, we are out here at the Paranormal Chicago Convention in Countryside, Illinois. I am joined with Mikey Suzeki. He is a new investigator to the team, which is Chicago Paranormal Investigators. And today I am going to be interviewing the owner and proprietor and the next up in command, and Mikey. And you don't have to hear from me because you've already heard from me. I am the stuff. So without further ado, here is Mikey Suzeki. I am going to ask you, Mikey, what made you want to get into the paranormal?
So getting into the paranormal world, I've always been very interested from a very young age. I actually had my own experiences growing up. Actually at your house with your son. It was very interesting. So my very first actual paranormal experience, we were quite young. I'd say, I don't know, when did I meet Devin? Very, very young, probably about
2006, 7,
yeah, 2006, 7, around there.
Yeah.
We were actually upstairs in the top of your upstairs, going across the hallways. We were playing with our Nerf guns and stuff. There was quite a few of us, so this is actually confirmable between not only me, but Devin himself too, if you did want to actually talk to him about it. We were shooting Nerf guns across the hallways. It was me, Devin, and I believe it was Nick on one side, and the other side was our other friends, Jimmy, Brian, and I forget the other one that was there, but we were shooting the Nerf guns across the hallway. We had all the lights off and everything, and right behind the other boys that were on the other side of the hallway, we actually seen a black shadowy figure with a top hat and glowing red eyes. And when it happened, all of the boys that were on our side, so me, Devin, and Nick, all stopped shooting at the same time, and it was terrifying. And we all just kind of stopped. We didn't say anything, and we all just kind of looked at each other. And Devin went and turned the light on, and it was like we all literally had just seen a ghost. So I waited to see if anyone was going to say anything, and Devin actually looked at me specifically, and he was like, "Did you see that?" And I waited to confirm, and I asked him, I was like, "So what did you see?" And he explained the exact same thing that I saw. It was a black shadowy figure that went behind the boys with glowing red eyes. It went from one wall to the other.
Wow.
Me, Devin, and Nick all seen the same thing. And I heard Devin explain it first, and that confirmed what I seen. So I was always very skeptical beforehand. I wasn't very sure about like the paranormal. I watched a lot of shows. I watched, obviously there was Ghost Adventures. I didn't follow that too much. It was very dramatized. One that I got into personally was Ghost Labs. They were more on the actual scientific side. It was ran on Discovery Channel. It wasn't around very long, but they went on a lot more of the scientific investigation side of things. So they would actually go to their locations. They would set up full grids of the entire location. It was very well informative. And that's kind of, once I had my own personal experience, then started getting into actually looking into these kind of things, i.e. on television, and doing my own research. The skepticism kind of leaves you a little bit once you kind of start seeing the things for yourself. And obviously, people can go different ways on it. Some people believe, some don't. But that's kind of the fun of it, and understanding where that comes from.
Yeah, I never heard that story, and I wish you guys would have told me about it back then, because at that point, I had all kinds of equipment, so I could have done the investigation. Never heard that.
Yeah.
Never heard it.
So we have also, me and Devin, both of us at the same time, have also had an experience in Debbie's house, which is the house that you guys do your actual regular podcast from. We had gone over there to let Debbie's dog out. She was not home. This was a few years after her son had passed away. God rest his soul. We were asked to go over and let the dog out. It was pretty late at night. I'd say it was probably about 11 o'clock, maybe closer to midnight, somewhere around there. And when we had came in the front door, we couldn't actually find the dog. And it's not a very big house, so it wasn't like we had to look around too much, but it was very strange that we couldn't find him. Dog's usually out in the living room. We're kind of roaming around the house, and we'll find you when you come in the door. So we're roaming around the house. We can't find him. And the son who had passed away, they left his room how it was. Nobody usually went in there or messed with anything, just out of respect for him. So we had noticed that the doorway to his room was actually cracked open, which was very strange because it's never open. So we ended up going in there, and we ended up finding the dog laying underneath of his desk.
Really?
Actually sitting there whimpering and whining, and it was very strange for us because it was inside of his room. So we eventually ended up getting the dog to come out. Dog calmed down and everything. We had let the dog out, and when we had actually entered in the house, the light to the hallway going towards where the bedroom one was actually on when we came into the house, which wasn't out of the normal. They would leave lights on kind of here and there around the house. So we had turned the light off and everything, and when we had left, after we had let the dog out and everything, when we were walking back down the sidewalk to go back to Devin's house, the light to the hallway was back on.
Oh, now see, that boy doesn't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
That is all stuff that I would have loved to have heard. And he knew that. I'm going to have his ass when I get home. So, all right, so those are just a couple of your experiences. Outside of around my house, have you had any experiences?
So we have actually gone and done our own little makeshift ghost hunts and stuff. No equipment or anything, but obviously just being dumb and trying to go adventure around places you probably shouldn't, that you hear haunted or have some things going on. I don't remember the exact locations or anything. I'm very terrible with my direction, so I do apologize about that. But my brother would take us a lot of the time when we were younger, especially around witching hours, with our friend Liz, who considers herself a medium, who can talk to spirits, is very well in touch with the spiritual world. We would actually take her with us around the witching hour, which is around 3 o'clock in the morning. And we would just go to these different locations. One of them was called the Haunted Castle. I guess it was an area in an open field where there used to be a castle. There was a whole moat and everything dug out, and I guess it got condemned. So now it's basically just a big open field, but there's a lot of like spiritual energy and stuff around there. So there'd be a lot of times we'd go and walk around there. I didn't really experience anything too crazy personally, but there were a lot of weird situations where Liz would be getting touched. She would get scratched. Stuff like that. So it was definitely interesting seeing things from a different perspective as well. Even when I wouldn't see it, I would be able to experience that through somebody else who could definitely see or feel things that I can't.
Yeah, I have already told the listeners that my daughter is sensitive, and she can talk to and see, spirits, or the other side, if you will. My next question is going to be that when you experienced all these, did you think okay, you're crazy, or did you know that what you were seeing was real?
So I feel like if I had experienced these things by myself, there would have been a lot more skepticism behind it. But I feel like it was a lot more reassuring on the fact that I had somebody with me the entire time. So I can confirm that with somebody else, i.e. Devin. I had him with me for both experiences, which is also a little strange that I haven't experienced anything outside of being with him. So maybe it could be something to do with Devin. We don't know. Hopefully not. Hopefully he doesn't have anything following him around. But at least the two experiences I had, I would definitely say I feel like I'd be a little bit more skeptical if it was just me by myself. But I had a way to confirm it with somebody else with me. So that's why there is that harder belief to the side of things, just because it is confirmable with somebody else.
Yeah, that's what's nice about having a team and all this double equipment that we have, because with the double equipment you can go, well, we got it on this camera and we have it on this audio, but we don't have it on that camera or that audio, or it's on all of them, or it's at least on two or something. Or if you see something in person, that other, did you see that? Yeah. The only hard thing is to, like you guys did, tell me what you saw. But how does that person know what you saw was what they saw?
Exactly.
Okay? You have to have trust. And the one thing I have to say about your family and my family is they're not liars. They're not cheats. And I can confirm that time and time again. And you were, I don't know if you were there when we had the incident or not with someone took money from my wallet.
I don't believe I was.
Well, during Halloween, I'm very open with my stuff. I don't hide anything because I look at everybody that walks in my house as family.
Right.
Okay. Your family has been welcome into my home since the day I have met your father and you. Okay. So I have never had any questions about you guys, going through my stuff, taking my money, whatever. But I don't hide my stuff either. That's my fault. So out of all the years that we were doing this, the hunt, never once was anything taken. Now, all of a sudden, $60 is removed from my wallet. So, of course, I have to ask everybody. I felt terrible about asking your family, if they took anything from my wallet. I mean, I was sick.
Right.
Okay. But I had to do it. Now, of course, I got no from everybody. Now, being a policeman or a sheriff, you know when someone's lying to you. You have that feeling. It's just natural. Okay? I asked a family member of mine, and as soon as I asked, no. Where was the wallet? I don't even know where the wallet. Oh, okay.
All right.
And I told your father before I was even asking anybody what I was doing and why I was doing it. He didn't have a problem with it.
Of course. Because he runs off the same thing. Same beliefs.
But I'm not going to go in there and start asking people without having, without your father or mother knowing what the deal was, or, what this, that, and the other. Okay, that would just be wrong of me. But it was my own family. And it wasn't my son, daughters, or whatever. It was a nephew that went in my wallet and took the money. Now, after a while, he did admit it, and he gave the money back. Okay? But listening to your stories today, knowing that they're coming from you, it's honest. There's no reason. You're not making any profit off of telling me these stories.
Exactly.
There's no fame.
There's no fortune. There's no nothing to it.
So, of course, I'm going to, believe every word you say. That and the fact that if I wanted to go to Nick, I can ask Nick the same thing. I can ask Devin the same thing, because I still see Nick, not where I want to see him. Usually in therapy. Thank you. But, I can confirm this, and I don't even have to. I'm going to confront Devin and go, okay, I'm your father. I'm an investigator. Why haven't you told me about this?
Right.
Now, it could be just the fact that he completely forgot about it, or put it out of his mind, or doesn't want to admit it, or, whatever. but it's exciting to know that, okay, someone I know other than myself has experienced stuff. And
in your own house.
Right. Yeah, that's the freaky thing.
That's the fun part.
Because I've never seen or felt anything there.
Really?
And you're not supposed to investigate your own house. That's a rule. But I've done stupid little recording sessions here and there, trying to see if my parents would answer, or my brother or something like that. But I've never gone ahead and, done a blatant thing like that. So I'm leaning towards it now because of you. But my next question to you is, what do you see yourself doing with this team, or what can you do for this team that you can, bring to the team for us?
So I think I bring a lot of knowledge, at least on more of the technical side for your social media and stuff. Ryan did let me know that you guys were looking to get into other things, i.e. outside of just Facebook, YouTube, or learning how to just kind of promote a little bit better. So I think I can definitely help out a little bit more on the technical side of things when it comes to setup, learning your equipment, getting into, maybe helping out with online social media presences and stuff. More so on the background side of things when it comes to investigating. Not really being a full-on face, but I like more of the logistical side of things.
Okay.
Running more of the background.
Yeah, see, I mean, that's where an old person like myself really struggles, is doing the technical. I mean, I can do the technical side to an extent, working cameras, working some audio equipment, but Facebook, doing this podcast is such an adventure for me because I can't work shit.
Yeah, it's like exploring a whole new world at this point, which is fun.
Yeah.
I don't mean to get too far off topic from what we were just talking about. Could I actually ask you a question back on the old point that we were just on?
Yeah.
So I know you had brought up Kaylin. I know she is a medium. Talking to the viewers here too, obviously. So I have a question for you. Have you actually ever talked to Kaylin about if she's experienced anything inside of your own home with her being a medium or anything like that?
Oh, yeah. My brother shows up constantly. In fact, my daughter says that my brother never leaves. That's kind of disturbing. But yeah, she's done quite a bit, not only in my own home, but in my in-laws' home. A funny story about that was when my father-in-law passed away 2 years ago, my mother-in-law was blaming him for selling her high school ring, which... my father-in-law, he would have never had any reason to do that.
Exactly.
He had more money than he can shake a stick at, and he didn't need money, so he wasn't looking for that. But she couldn't find it. She was looking all over for it since the day he passed away. And why she was looking for it, I have no idea.
Just some weird mission she was on.
Yeah, I think personally, I think she was mad at her husband for leaving her, and, rightfully so to an extent, but.
Of course.
Anyway, my daughter asked her grandfather, which now had been passed for probably a week or so at this point, maybe 2 weeks, sorry about that, but probably about 2 weeks at this point. And she said, she asked him, can you tell me where it's at? And he goes, yeah, but I'm not going to. And that's my father-in-law. I mean, all over, that is my father-in-law to a T.
So he had it. He knows where it is.
He knew exactly where it was at.
Nothing.
And he just was not going to say where the hell it was. So, she kept saying, but grandma's bothering me, grandma's bothering me, grandma's bothering me. She keeps going on that you stole it and this, that, and the other, So finally he says, okay. He says, get your grandmother and go into our bedroom. So Kaylin goes and gets her grandmother and says, Grandpa's going to tell me where the ring is at. Oh, sure. Yeah, that's really going to happen, huh? So my daughter says, okay, open up the credenza. So she opens up the credenza. Top drawer, right-hand corner in a small box, wooden box. Sure as shit, exactly there is where that ring was at.
Wow.
I mean, and my daughter, she was at their house plenty of times, but she was never, in the bedroom going through drawers and stuff like that. She would have had no clue how to find that ring. Okay? the other thing is when her grandfather passed away, she came from our house to their house, consult the grandmother, and my wife was already there. And here comes the familia. So the family, or my mother-in-law was there, my wife was there, I was there, I was going to be there shortly, and we were just showing up slowly. My daughter walks in and said to my mother-in-law, "Grandma, who's the lady sitting with Grandpa?" And my mother-in-law's like, "There's nobody in the house. There's no one there." She goes, No, there's a lady sitting with Grandpa. She's got brown curly hair. She's overweight, and she's sitting and holding Grandpa's hand." And my mother and my wife both looked at her and looked at each other. It was my father-in-law's sister. She passed away when my wife was 12 years old.
So Caitlin would have no idea who this is.
Well, not only that, but there's one known photograph of her, and it's never brought about. Now, I've been married to my wife for 34 years in June, and I have seen the picture just recently, when they first found it when they were moving. Okay, or when she was moving. That was the first time I've ever seen a picture of her. My father-in-law never talked about her sister, or his sister. My father-in-law's brother never talked about the sister. I lived at the house and didn't know for an entire year while I lived there that she even existed. There were no pictures in the house at all. I lived upstairs in the apartment that she passed away in, and didn't even know her. Wow. So there was no way my daughter would have even known her. Not only, she might have known about her, but to describe her, there's no way.
Would have been feasibly impossible.
Right, exactly. There would have been no way to actually see all that. So, it's been interesting having her around. She's been on an investigation with us, so she was able to pinpoint certain things, this, that, and the other. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, you guys are trustworthy. Once again, I am tongue-tied twisted. So.
Well, it's cool to hear the stories of multiple occasions. It's not just a one-time thing. There's multiple different times that this has happened, that she's been able to see something that's confirmable outside of, without reason.
Right.
Without being able to see a picture, to be able to explain somebody. And I've actually, with Caitlin firsthand, have experienced her talking to spirits around us, especially with my best friend Ryan, another one of the people that are on the Chicago Paranormal Investigating team. Obviously, he's gone through a lot in his life. He's got things that like to follow him, according to Caitlin. And for her to explain things for people that she has never met in her life either is very, very impressive. And it's crazy to hear of the different people who have different basically touches to reality, and especially the spiritual world. So that's why coming back on the beginning of this conversation, being able to talk to people, getting interested in seeing the different viewpoints other people have is also another big reason why I want to get into the paranormal investigating as well. Just getting to talk to people and just the mindsets, the differences, everything that they got going on. Everybody's in their own different world. Everybody's got everything else going on in their life. So it's interesting to see how different people view all that stuff, especially when it comes to a paranormal world.
Right. Well, I asked you why you wanted to get in it, and just so you know ahead of time, and I don't know, maybe Ryan might have told you, but he called me up and he asked my opinion about it. And I said, after because I didn't know what type of technical, I knew you were technically.
But like what for specific?
Yeah, and I said, oh yeah, I mean, that would be a great fit. I mean, personally, I don't care if you're there or not. I mean, that, you're not going to be a detriment. No one can be a detriment, but having you there is going to be another person that we can rely on to say, okay, I trust what he's saying. But yes, the technical part.
That's a big thing about investigating is having a team that you can trust.
Right. If you can't trust your people around you, then, you might as well hang up the team. So, that was a big benefit. I consider you family. You're like one of my sons. So yeah, that's very important to me that, we surround ourselves, and I'm just joining the team myself. I've only been in it for, 7-8 months, so, but surrounding the team with people you can trust is most important, and I'm glad that you're joining us. Look forward to working with you, and hopefully soon that we can get out there and do a nice, real good investigation.
Absolutely.
And get something. So if you'll be so kind, if you would send Ryan over, we're going to do the next interview with him. Nice talking to you. Thank you for everything. And
absolutely.
We'll talk to you soon.
Nice seeing everybody.
Bye, world. All right. In the meantime, I really am excited about this show. I think we're getting a lot of good show ups here. I see all kinds of people walking in and out, and hopefully throughout the show here, I'm going to be able to get a chance to bring you around and show you what's going on here. It's a pretty good. It's a small venue, but it's a good. Looks like a good turnout showing up. So, I'm looking forward to doing that. Hopefully, and not hopefully, but soon, after I get done with Ryan, we're going to be talking to Dave, and Dave Olson is his name, and he's going to be talking to us about his history and what he hopes to come from this team. And I plan on having a lot more shows with him involved, and Ryan is of course doing phone interviews or in live interviews. I'd like to bring you to the show, I'd like to bring the show to the investigations occasionally here and there, and maybe show you how we do the reveals or the after investigation, because that's just as much important, is just as important as doing the investigation itself. So, we'll be looking forward to that. I am waiting for Ryan. I believe he's talking with somebody right now.
Everything's changed. Logo.
So, it's he's in the back of Misty. If you can look there in the back of the screen, Misty is our command vehicle, and it's loaded to the hilt with all kinds of equipment and recording stuff. So we have a full DVR. We have you can open up the side panel on the outside and connect all your wires to it right there. So you're out of the weather. No matter the weather, we can be at your house or your location of business and do a full-out investigation. We have all our equipment laid out here today. Just to give people an idea and, describe to them what this is all about and how we do things, and to show that we don't clown around. We are here for your, whatever you need, whatever your needs are, we're here for. And, we'll be able to fulfill the vast majority of what we can. If we can help you, if you need to cleanse a place, that's possible. We have ways around that or about that. We have, ways to maybe show you who or what's at your place. By all means, come out. Check this out today at Countryside, 6200 Joliet Road in Countryside, Illinois. Like I said, there's all kinds of people coming and going, and crowds are just getting bigger and bigger. So, like I said, if I get a chance, I am definitely going to go out there and walk around. So right now, I'm just going to take a real quick pause and be right back. All right, we are back, and I am joined by Ryan, and he is a paranormal investigator extraordinaire. Ryan, how you doing today?
Mike, doing great. Just out here at a beautiful convention out in countryside, meeting the people, enjoying the people, living the paranormal.
Beautiful. Man, we've had a good turnout today, it looks like, man.
It's been a busy day, and it, more and more keep showing up, so.
That's a good thing. It's going to probably get us out there on the map a little bit more. Listen, I got a question for you, and you just let me know how you feel about it. What made you get involved into the paranormal?
You know, I mean, you hate to say it's a loaded question, but it kind of just goes back to curiosity in life. And I don't know, the things that I've experienced that I couldn't explain, that I didn't even know were paranormal. I mean, you call it a ghost. You hear people talking about ghosts all the time. And I mean, there was experiences back in high school. I had a friend who said her house was haunted. You know, being back in the day, like, you're just out there partying, you're having a good time in high school, throwing some beers back, and next thing you know, the house party you're at is the girl's telling you, yeah, by the way, my basement's haunted. Well, what does that mean? I don't know.
There's extra people there
there's somebody else there that we can't see. And it was like, yeah, cool, haha, funny, your house is haunted. Well, I had to go down and, you know, I had to take a piss. Only one in the basement. She reminds me, hey, be careful down there. Of what? Well, go down, use the restroom, and as I go to push the door slams right back on me. Not locked. Can't get out now. Door's shaking. I'm freaking out at this point. Lights off. It's pitch black in the basement now. Finally, the door opens. I sprint outside, and everybody sees that. I'm like completely disheveled. You know, I'm in a panic right now. And she comes up to me and she goes, "Oh, so you met him?" And I said, met who? I'm like, what the hell happened down there? I'm like, who was messing with me? You know, who's down there messing with me?
Right.
No one.
No one that you can see.
No one that I could see. And she's cool as a cucumber. Everybody else is making fun of me, but she's like, yeah, no. Kind of figured that would happen for the next person that went down there. And I was like, ooh, this paranormal thing, this haunting, these ghosts. I'm like, it's kind of a real thing. And I always had, you know, curiosity. Let's, you know, I don't know if we're even allowed to say his name on this podcast, but Zach Bagans.
Who? That?
Yeah, that
what?
guy. That guy who did a show once upon a time. I was always interested in it. It was spooky. It was scary. But after that experience, it was kind of like, oh man, something's out there. And you talk about, for those listeners that don't know, former military, Marine Corps veteran, did time in Afghanistan, and the paranormal continued out there. We talk about a time that I was on post, and this was in the Khanashin district of southern Helmand province, Afghanistan. And there was a post that overlooked the bazaar, the marketplace. And it was, you know, I mean, you gotta assume there's paranormal out there. You gotta assume that with the trauma, the violence, and everything that happens over there, that something's going to be attached. But we had this post overlooking the bazaar. And every time that we were out there, it'd be middle of the night. You know, you're kind of half falling asleep, you know, trying to stay alert. But right behind you was I want to say, you know, I'd have to ask my boys that were out there exact numbers, but it had to be like a 7-stud ladder coming up. And that's how we got up up to the post. And you would hear, in the middle of the night, sometimes you would hear like somebody was coming up. Sometimes it was your corporal of the guard coming up to check on you, and you're like, oh shit. yeah, no, hey, yeah, what's up? We're paying attention. We got it, dude. So you'd snap to, and then you'd be like, oh shit, well, maybe it's actually the enemy coming up behind us. So we'd go check. Nothing. Give it like 15, 20 minutes later, you'd hear. And I could never explain it. I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm just exhausted. Maybe it's just been a long time that I've been out there. Until I got a report from a couple of my really good buddies that were on post that night. They were running another post. We rotated out from the patrol base, and we came back and we actually talked to them, and they said they heard the same thing. And we always had, and we didn't know why it was up there, but there was a little corner, a little nook tucked away on the side of the post where we would all sit, and there was always a large wooden cross in there. And we were like, oh, whatever. Name of the Father, Son, Holy Ghost, whatever. Protecting us. Turns out, a lot of other units had experiences on this specific post. And that specific night that the other platoon was running watch, they were sitting up there and they heard the same thing. Nothing. Okay, cool. Happens 5 minutes later. They got nothing. All of a sudden they get a huge wind gust with the camo nets that are on the side entering the post, and it's just not a windy night, and this thing just blows open it. Well, turns out right after that, on the actual ladders, on the ladder again. Well, now this time they think somebody's actually outside of the patrol base walking around the perimeter, so they call the corporal of the guard, who then comes up there. Well, our first sergeant was also listening to the radio, listening to comms at the time, and hears, hey, we think something's going on out here. We keep hearing noises. Our cami netting just got pushed open. What is happening? So he comes out with the corporal of the guard. They all walk up, and the second they get up there, the cami netting blows open again, and the cross doesn't start on fire, but it starts giving embers, it's burning internally. And I mean, there's numerous cases you can look up from guys in Afghanistan and stories about, demonic energy from ghosts, from everything like that, that tie into the paranormal. And, from that point, it was always just kind of more of a curiosity, more of an interest of mine.
Could I ask you real quick about that post? Was that a existing post, or was that something that you guys built when you got there, or?
Yeah, so actually, that's a great question. Let me go back on that. That was actually Khanishin Castle. Dates back to Genghis Khan.
My God. Okay.
Yeah, so that dates back to Genghis Khan, who actually built that castle. Now, you talk about all the violence, the wars that have come through there. Genghis Khan couldn't even take Afghanistan.
Right.
And he was one of the greatest conquerors of all time. I mean, we all have this, or supposedly we all have Genghis Khan's DNA. Genes in us, DNA. But you talk about Russia coming into Afghanistan. They also use this space.
Okay.
And they actually burned Afghanis that were uncooperative alive inside of that base. Our old barber shop in there still had the handprints on the walls of where people were burned and trying to look for a way out. So, I mean, there's a lot of darkness there. And the old prison cells that were in the back, the old mud prison cells. I mean, I've had times I walked into there and you could hear the voices. You could hear voices in there at this base. But yeah, no, it's a wild experience.
That another thing, that camo netting, it's designed in such a manner that it just can't be blown off because it's hiding something. You're protecting it from views of a higher, like airplanes or whatever, right? So it's,
right.
A wind is not supposed to be able to just blow it easily.
No, it shouldn't be able to blow that easily. They're heavy. They're kind of weighted down at the bottom, so it holds. Yeah, it's gonna move.
Right.
It's gonna move. But it's not going to be able to be blown back into us in such a fashion that it felt forceful, especially if we didn't have winds that would have caused it.
Yeah, that's what got me, was because I have one of those nets at home.
Yes.
And I know how heavy that thing is, and it's unbelievable that, and it's open. I mean, it's got plenty of, air ventilation through it or whatever. So how would it get blown away for that to be showing,
For the fact that it was pushed into us, and like, that's the point you were making, is it's a ventilated net. You can't get that much wind force to actually grip it,
right?
So to speak, to grip the wind, to push it the way that it was reportedly pushed, and the things that I've seen with it being pushed, especially when you don't have wind like that out there.
Yeah, that is something. Now, I've known you for quite a long time, and I've only heard, a few.
You know me for a little bit.
Yeah, quite a long time. 5 minutes ago.
It's nice to meet you, by the way.
What's your name? So first of all, being a Marine, thank you for your service. Appreciate that.
It's my pleasure.
And but that gives you a lot of credibility. Not only that, but the fact that you are a trained nurse and a first responder fireman. Thank you again for your service there. That is a tough job.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And so you're not that normal people are not more credible, but in that realm of first responders, you expect to be credible. I mean, you can't just make up stories, because falsifying a report is illegal.
Right.
So anything coming out of your mouth is going to be, gospel to me. One, because I am, retired law enforcement, and I trust the people I'm around. So when you got the opportunity to join this team, what was it that you were looking for as far as joining a team?
So that's a great question. It goes back to all that curiosity that I had about everything. And current team member who used to be a officer that I served under in the fire department, heard rumors that maybe he did, the ghost hunting, the paranormal investigation, and I was like, man, that'd be kind of awesome. And when I started talking to him more, it was something that the way he spoke about it, the way he said he wanted that team, like our team operates, was to not only just be there during the day to help somebody with our day-to-day jobs, but to be able to help those that maybe can't move on, that could potentially need help, something that maybe we could provide that evidence. And it was that just curiosity and everything that I had seen in the past, and I was like, this is my opportunity to jump in. One, I want answers. What we still don't have the answers.
Right.
I mean, you understand that, right? We don't have the answers. Maybe we could provide answers and at the very least provide that voice. And being a team of mostly first responders, it's nice to be able to provide that help. But the other thing was, there's people that, you know, they come across something in their house, in their business, something that absolutely terrifies them, that they can't explain. Well, maybe we could go in there. And maybe it's as simple as, you know, you coming in and being like, hey, it's a bad pipe, it's a bad fan. You got nothing to worry about. Or maybe they just want to hear, I'm not crazy. I'm not the only one who hears this. Can you give me something? And being able to provide that help, being able to be a first responder, and then being able to do this and give first response to the paranormal is something that, I don't know, it's just something that feels good in the heart. Best way I can say that.
Well, that's a definitely good way to put it out there, and it makes complete sense. I mean, you know, I'm not saying that it takes a special breed, but I'm saying it takes a special breed to be a first responder in any sense of the imagination. Working in a hospital, you know. No,
and again, thank you for your service as well. As a correctional officer, that's a whole different breed of first response. That
was a dumbass response.
Yeah, well, that was your choice, not mine.
Yeah, no brains, no headaches.
Yeah.
But all right, now that you're with the team, and you've been through a very good places to go, you know, to investigate. What have you seen and what have you learned so far about, you know, ghost investigations that might or might not look like the TV stuff that you see?
I mean, I would say the TV stuff that you see, bullshit. Almost all of it, bullshit. And it has to be. It has to be. You can't make money if you don't have people that are excited to watch your stuff. And people are watching this stuff because they want to see action all the time. And for the naysayers out there, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, Ghost Adventures, Zach Bagans, I'll trash him. He's full of shit all the time. But that's what they want, because he set the standard of what the paranormal investigation is supposed to look like. And that's not at all what it is.
No,
honestly, the best investigation we could ever have is we go in there helping a family that thinks they have something and we cannot find anything. Right. That's a great investigation. Why? Because they're not haunted. There's nothing inside of their house.
Right. There's something with the house or, you know, what have you.
But you learn that there's a bunch of crazy devices and stuff out there that could be used, but the biggest thing that you have is what we're talking in right now. And who knows? We're at a paranormal convention right now. I don't know what this mic's picking up.
Right.
You might listen back, record this. Bam. There might be something talking to us right now. There might be somebody talking to us right now. EVPs are your best evidence, and that's what I have learned. Our best evidence is always going to be off of our recorders.
Right. Yeah. Something. Yeah. And that when I was talking to Mikey earlier, we had mentioned that, you know, a culmination of people together is one thing, but now we have several pieces of equipment. I don't know how much you guys can see in the camera, but we have several pieces of equipment out here that can validate each other and what we see or hear. Because, prime example, you and I did an investigation in Norridge, Illinois, in the what was that? Savior Church?
Divine Savior Church.
Yeah, Divine Savior Church. And you guys, well, all of us in that room heard what sounded like writing on a chalkboard.
Right. And that was a great piece of evidence. Right. But that was something, one, we thought something was going on in the room. Right. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, but yeah. So we went back and we were doing a playback EVP, and smart on you, you started recording with thermal.
Right.
And as we were, well, that sounds good. Hope that's not picking up on the audio.
Oh, yeah, it's picking up. That's just a car that has.
Nope, that's the paranormal right there.
Yeah.
Got him. Wow. Look at that.
Yeah.
First capture.
First capture. Beautiful.
But, yeah, so we were sitting there, and I think the actual recording was when we were kind of pretending to listen as students, asking questions, asking if there was a teacher there, if there was a child there that liked writing on a chalkboard. And we got that playback EVP of which, if you know, to any listener out there that has never grown up with a chalkboard, there's no mistaking the sound of somebody writing on a chalkboard. It's very distinct, and we all heard it. And at that point, your thermal on the playback shows a
entity
walk across the chalkboard and out of the room.
Right.
Now, I think I see where you're going with this point was you have one piece of evidence, right? We have the chalkboard writing. That's cool enough. We all know what it sounded like. We were all in there pretending to be students, whatever. We heard it. But now you're getting that secondary thermal image of someone walking out of a room.
Right. From in front of the chalkboard.
From in front of the chalkboard, walking out of the room. And then we have our other cameras that are set up that later capture that exact same room. And you see that same room, a figure walk in between the windows of the door. I mean, that's what we're talking about, right? Is the confirmation of how we do evidence, what evidence looks like, and how we can take 1, 2, 3, 4 devices, and that's kind of it's kind of all we have is proof of the paranormal,
right? To
be able to confirm it.
And that was, that was awesome because, one, I was able to witness it. 2, when I was recording the thermal, because the screen is so bright, I wasn't looking at the screen, so I didn't see me recording it until later on. I played it, and that's when I saw it, and then I sent it right to you and said, I think I got some. And then Dave went through.
And he went through. So the other thing was the confirmation of whether or not you had a reflection, whether or not somebody was walking. When we had 2 other cameras in that room that confirm we were all stationary, there is no possible way we could have changed that thermal view.
Right.
We couldn't have gave a reflection because, of course, that's a possibility, and that's something we look at all the time. Okay, well, cool capture. Was it a reflection? No. That confirmation of something from our stationary camera on our DVR walking out, we confirmed nobody was even in the building at that time. Same floor. And that was also the same floor where, and we go back to, different types of evidence. That was a laugh in the background.
Yeah.
Just so in case any listener is listening, they don't think there's some psychotic ghost out here.
That's what we call tagging in the industry.
That's a great point, and that's why you got to trust your team. Is because we tag each other. We state if it's something in the background, if it's one of us making a noise. If I clear my throat, hey, that's Ryan clearing his throat. But we definitely lost my train of thought a little bit on that laugh.
I think we were just.
Yeah, no, so the other thing is trust in your team. All of the members of C.P.I. are trustable. If we say something happens, it happens.
Right.
don't care what any viewer or listener has to say. I'm full of shit. Maybe I'm not full of shit. Well, guess what? Fuck you. I trust my team.
Well, here's the other thing, and the reason we keep bringing up Zach Baggins is because every episode that I've ever seen of Zach Baggins, he's possessed.
Yeah, sorry, Bagans.
Bagans.
Yeah, Bagans.
Baggins.
Zach Bagans.
No, Baggins.
Whatever,
Baggins.
Baggins. Yeah, Frodo.
Ball end.
Frodo Baggins.
But, I've been to several, and I've done investigations before I joined this team. I've done investigations on my own, and I have never, ever been possessed. In fact, I told you before, until we went down to Indiana, I had never been touched or anything like that before. All of a sudden now I get touched on the back of the head. Experience number one for me out of how many years?
And that was, let's double back to that real quick, but your first investigation was, with us at least, was that capture of the thermal imaging, which we completely trusted. And you went on, I think there were at least 3 in between, right? About 3 in between before you got touched.
Yeah.
And there was no doubt in my mind because, like you said, I might have known you for, 5 minutes, you said? I've known you for a while, Mike, and I have never seen you flinch, get scared. I mean, you're a goddamn retired corrections officer. And
you said retarded.
I was, well, yeah, that too, but I was the one recording, shooting up the staircase when you were actually touched. And I've never in my life seen you jump the way you jumped and then jump again because it was twice you were touched.
Yeah,
something came across your head.
And it wasn't a spider because that was what I looked for. That's why I turned real fast to see if it was a spider or, spider web or something. It was not.
And that's the trust. And I mean, that's when it comes back down to Divine Savior. Unfortunately, we were breaking down for the night and myself and another investigator had a door pushed at us.
Right.
Pushed at us. And it was right as we unplugged our DVR system. And then following that, though, good investigation is always following up on something. Yeah, cool. Everybody could say, oh, dude, you were just, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. You're fucking tired, whatever. Yeah, sure, the door got pushed. Nothing's going to make me run down a goddamn hallway if there's nobody else there except me and another investigator and a door gets pushed in my face.
Yeah, that's
a door that could not be physically moved without force. And then after that, we went right back into investigation. All right, whoa, shit. That was scary. I have a recorder on me. Let's go see what's going on. And then we end up capturing whistles from a different floor. You hear them visually or audibly, and then you get a EVP of a whisper, and that's kind of the evidence that we look for and how we stack things on top of each other.
Yeah, and what people don't see, and which I'm going to bring up to you. I'm going to talk to you guys about being able to do a podcast at one of the investigations, not to interrupt the investigation, but so people can see what our actual actions are, not what Zach Bagans is doing, not getting possessed. But one of the things that bothered me about doing the church when we were doing the rectory was I sat down in a chair. I had my camera off, but I wasn't recording, but I had the camera on and it wasn't recording.
Right.
I sit down, and as soon as I sat down, across the screen, I see an orb. People don't like orbs. Okay. However, you had a tripwire in front of me, and when that thing went from the screen, the tripwire went
right
in the same direction, and it followed you and what was it? AJ?
Oh no, Tim.
Tim.
It was me and Tim.
Yeah,
it was me and Tim that followed us exactly out with the same thing with the orb going. Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah. And it pissed me off because I could have had the camera running but you live and learn. You make mistakes, you do that, you fix the mistakes, and hopefully, we both, progress in this in the future, which I think we're going to, because we're having a good time with this. And I don't really know what else to say. I think we've covered quite a bit of stuff. If there's anything you want to add, just, or ask me, or...
No, I mean, one of the big things too, let's give a shout out to Jack Chavez for hosting the event out here in Countryside, the Paranormal Convention. It's been a great time. Huge turnout, a lot of great vendors, ton of great people out here. It's been a lot of fun to talk to everybody, meeting new people, getting more opportunity for us to expand our investigations, and check out some new places and learn. I mean, that's one of the biggest things that I really want to add too, is this is a learning experience.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, you remember day one, you were a solo investigator for years, but when you finally come into a team, you had to learn from us, and it was just every time you came out, you take a little piece, you take a little piece, you take a little piece, and that's what brings the team together. And that's what actually, we're still doing it.
Right.
We're still doing it. I gotta say, we fucked up at Indiana State last time we were out there. Oops, forgot to hit record.
Yeah.
Simple little mistakes that now they're seared in your mind. Check the goddamn camera.
Right. And how many times have I, said, oh, damn, I didn't turn on the microphone for the camera,
Yeah.
So,
which, by the way, damn, dude, you forgot to record this.
Oh,
We have to redo this whole podcast. Huh?
I hope not, because I'm already at an hour and I haven't even got to
Yeah,
Dave
let's
yet.
hope not.
But so I think this team is really developing into something good. I mean, it was already a good team to begin with, but now we're adding members to it and going places.
We're adding that different experience. I think it's the best way to say it. A lot of us are first responders. We all have that core of wanting the help and that professionalism and working in chaos. But now we're, AJ's been a part of the team. Love AJ. Great with audio visual. Same with Tim. Now we're adding new team members that they bring a different, I don't know if you want to call it a flair, like a flair to the team, It's that different perspective.
Right.
And it's giving the team a lot of balance. Because if I hear one thing, especially like from Dave, if I hear one thing, he might hear something different, and I could be like, "Hey, Dave, no, that's bullshit. Like, it's not what you're actually hearing." And he'll do the same thing to me, and it's the same thing that you'll do.
Right.
And we all start to work with each other, and we get that chemistry, and it's like, "Oh no, actually, that was Mike clearing his throat. That was Ryan clearing his."
Right.
So, no, we have a great team, like you said, and great future ahead of us.
Yeah, I think that's what we're looking forward to, is the future ahead of us, because this is going to turn into something really good. Like I said, I told Mikey earlier, I said, you called me up and said, how do I feel about adding Mikey? And I gave you my input, and, I think he's going to be a valuable asset to the
Right.
team, because of his technical knowledge. That's, we're not young. I know you're younger.
No, I'm retired.
No, that's not the word.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right.
But you're younger, but he's even in that younger bracket. And I just found out today that he and Devin and Nick had experiences. And my son never told me.
Well, surprise, because I knew about that one.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, nobody tells me anything.
right,
That's what
all
happens when you tell Dad something. So, but anyway, we're going to move along. I'm going to get Dave on the line. This is Ryan. He is the head man in charge, even though what Dave likes to think he is.
Yeah,
So-
Dave likes to think that.
Right. Dave does think that, and that's what we're going to tell him when he comes on here. So, all right, y'all, we're going to take a little break, and we'll be back with you shortly.
Hey, thanks for listening, guys. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate
Thank you. Peace out. All right, so I'm back, and I'm going to be shutting down this evening. It is close on 7 hours here. The show is getting ready to shut down. So, sorry about that. Clear my throat around here. I might as well be getting ready to shut down myself. And it's been a pleasure to be out here with you guys. And I did, by the way, get approval, just so you know, that I will be able to bring you out to the shows. Not the shows, out to the investigation. Looking forward to doing that. We are going to be doing some investigations real soon here, and we'll be starting probably next month, which July in 2026. So be looking forward to that. And yeah, everyone's leaving out. So they're going to be wrapping up, and like I said, I'm going to be wrapping up as well. But I didn't want to leave without saying goodbye. Goodbye. Oh no, that's not how that's going to work. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the interviews and kind of give you a little insight onto what's to come and who we're going to be with, and this, that, and the other. Get to see a little insight of the operations of the Chicago Paranormal Investigators team. Got to see a little bit of the equipment, got to see inside the convention for a little bit, which was kind of nice. Yeah, so it was a fun-filled event. But, all right, so I'm probably going to break this down into 2 different episodes, just to make sure I'm not killing the sound waves. Don't want to be messing them up. We already have enough power or problems with the power. Why continue on, messing up things that I have no control of? So for Mike and the Not Ghost Host podcast, have a pleasant evening, and I'm out of here.
He's been executed like 4 times. Reach out sometimes.
All right, well, I'm back, and we just had a couple interviews with Mikey Suzuki and Ryan. Like I said earlier, Ryan is what I consider second in command. We still have a couple more people on the crew that I am going to be doing interviews with and finding out their stories. We have AJ. His last name is Theed, and he will be hopefully the next person to get interviewed. If not, we'll do the other team members first, whatever I can get to, actually. But I'm hoping to do AJ because he has been with the team probably the second longest out of everybody so far. Yeah, we had a good time. There was a lot of good people showing up at the show. A lot of other teams that were there. We enjoyed talking with them, and we bounce ideas off each other, show each other the equipment that we may or may not have, that they may or not, really nice talking to me. Anyway, that they may or may not have. There was something in the first interview with Dave that I wanted to correct. I called a piece of equipment an Octa something because I didn't know what the name was, and it's actually a Hydra. And the Hydra is I called it an octi because I thought it had 8 arms, which it can have 8 arms. It looks like an octopus. So that's where I got that name from, but I was mistaken. It is called a hydra, and it's available at, I believe, Ghost Stop, stuff like that. But anyway, that was just, I wanted to make that correction. And I wanted to apologize again for the editing that probably isn't the greatest. And I also want to apologize for something happened with the audio. When I was interviewing Dave, it just all of a sudden near the end went into echo mode. And like I said before, the funny thing is my PodTrack P4 doesn't have that option. So was that paranormal? I don't know. I'm not sure I'll ever find out. But again, I want to thank you for joining me, and I really want to hope that you like, share, and subscribe. And I'd appreciate it if you really do share, because that's the only way I'm going to get out there, get known. And if I'm not doing a good job, hey, leave a comment. Let me know. I'm on all the major platforms and even some of the minor platforms, as far as I know. I'm on Apple, Spotify, TuneIn, all those names, Deezer, and iHeartRadio. So yeah, like, share, comment, do something. I may not like all the comments, and I will sift through those carefully. But constructive criticism, I can take it all day long. And again, I just hope that you like my show and, possibly pass it around. I am working on trying to get myself a little bit upbeat when I talk to y'all, which is hopefully coming through today. And I will be having a lot more episodes where I tell you about places that I've been to, plan to go to, plan to be at with C.P.I, and I will be even doing I will be doing podcasts. That's what it is. Podcasts from the investigations that we do. Not all of them, some of them. And hopefully those turn out to be 1 or 2 episodes. Could possibly be 3, depending on how much time we spend at these locations. We've got a few of them coming up. And so, go on C.P.I.'s, Chicago Paranormal Investigators website. Check them out. Check us out. There's photograph and videos from investigations in the past before I joined them. And that's going to be getting revamped because this C.P.I is going in a whole new direction as far as logos and web pages and so forth, and hoping to kind of add this podcast in with them quite a bit because this is my second love. My first one is my wife, of course. No pats on the back there, guys. Anyway, so look forward to that coming up, and plenty of others. So with further ado, I am going to sign off for tonight, and thank you again for joining me, and hope you enjoy the interviews with Mikey and Ryan, and hope you enjoy getting to know our team. And if you need anything, contact C.P.I. We are there to help. You can't go through life being afraid of going home or, someplace that you work, stuff like that. Call us. Maybe we can help out. I have blessed people and I have blessed places. I have chased away a bad spirit on somebody, on people, and it seems to work according to my daughter. So I can't promise anything or whatever, but it seems like whatever I do seems to work. Again, can't guarantee it, can't make promises, but at least we can try. And if I can't do it, or what have you, I'm sure we can find someone, or maybe I'm pretty sure Dave knows somebody that can come in and do a cleansing for you. If you just want to find out what you have and it's, not bothering you, but you got something there, call us in. Maybe we can get some evidence for you. But yeah, check us out. C.P.I, Chicago Paranormal Investigators. They have a web page. Check out the web page. They're on YouTube. Dave has been on a few different shows, so check out Dave Olson at C.P.I. And all right, for that, I'm going to say good night and peace, love, and hair grease. Got it right again. All right. Talk to you soon. Maybe not.